Hi, in this video we would like to give you an overview of DocExport and introduce the functions using an example use case. DocExport enables you to generate PDFs with all kinds of information from your Monday.com boards. The following use case gives you a good understanding of what is possible and how easy it is to set everything up. Not only the information from an item, but also a signature and QR code will be included in our final example PDF. So, what's the use case we're talking about? Imagine we want to share a form where people can sign up for an event. All submissions will be collected in a Monday.com board as individual items. We will also collect the signatures and generate tickets for the attendees in PDF format. On each ticket, we will include a QR code which links to the item, so the receptionist can easily scan the code and check the visitor in by changing a status column. At the end, we create some automations to not only save the PDF ticket to a file column, but also have it automatically sent to the attendee via email. Excited? Let's get started. As you can see, I already prepared a board with the details I want to request from the guests, like the name, type of visitor, date, and so on. The file column named Ticket will be the place for storing my future PDF files. I also created a Monday.com form by adding a form view to my board where people can sign up for the event. They simply fill in the fields and sign at the end. By the way, the signature feature is quite hidden. If you want to add it to your form, click on Edit Form, scroll down, click on the blue plus icon and search for signature. This will automatically add a file column to your board. The captured signature is basically an image file. The board is now ready to go. Let's set up DocExport to generate the PDF tickets. After installing DocExport from the Monday.com app marketplace, I can add the DocExport view from the app section to my board. Here, in the DocExport app view, I have now two options as starting points: the board level and the item level. The board level is the right choice if I want to create a document with a table or list of multiple items, like a report or list of tasks. In our example, however, I want to create PDFs with information from a single item per document, so item level is the right choice in this case. We are now entering a step-by-step guide. In step 1, I have the option to either download a default template as a starting point, which I can adapt to my needs, or I can create a docx template from scratch. In any case, all templates need to be in Microsoft Word format. The template I prepared from scratch for our example looks like this. It's not a design masterpiece, but you get the idea. It's really easy to create a template like this. Just add specific placeholders where you want to insert information from your board items. If you already have an existing docx document, like a form or contract, you can use that and simply replace your static parts with placeholders. Let me give you a brief introduction to the placeholders. Each placeholder consists of two opening curly brackets, the prefix item dot, followed by the column title, and two closing curly brackets. As an example, to inherit the item name, the placeholder would be two opening curly brackets, item dot name, and two closing curly brackets. For the company name, it would be two opening curly brackets, item dot company, and two closing curly brackets again, and so on. The placeholder for an image or signature is built slightly different. It consists of two opening curly brackets, the word image, followed by two numbers in brackets. The first number defines the width in pixels, and the second number the height in pixels. If I leave the second value to 0, the height will be automatically calculated without changing the aspect ratio of the image or signature. After the colon, you add the prefix item dot, followed by the title of your file column, and finish with two closing curly brackets. The placeholder for the QR code is in fact an image placeholder, so the structure is the same. The 85 stands for the width in pixels, and the term QR.item URL returns the link to the specific item. Now that my ticket template is ready to go, I can return to monday.com and click on Upload New Template to upload my docx file. In step 2, I define the actions that will happen after the document has been generated. There are a number of options. You can save the generated document in a file column within your board, have it emailed to yourself, to an email address from a column, or one or more specific email addresses that you can enter manually. In any case, the file will be stored in the Generated Documents tab in the DocExport board view. On the right, you find a detailed explanation of the options available. In our example, I want to save the ticket as a PDF in the file column of my monday.com board, so I select File to Column and choose my file column called Ticket. I also select the option Send via email to column. Once the form has been submitted, the ticket will therefore automatically be sent to the attendee's email address, which I collected in a specific column within my board. In step 3, I can select the document's output format and optionally choose a specific file name. If I leave this field empty, the file name will be the item name, so in our case it would be the name of the visitor. For your info, you can also use placeholders in file names, the same way you use them in the template. If you, for example, enter event ticket, 2 opening curly brackets, item.name and 2 closing curly brackets, the generated file could be called event ticket John Doe. In the next field, I have to specify a name for the DocExport recipe, so I can find it when I set up the monday.com automations. The recipe will save the options I chose above, so in our case, it remembers to save a PDF in the monday.com board and send the file to the event attendee. Therefore, I recommend using a describing name like Create Document or Send Contract. I will choose Save and Email Ticket so that I'm really sure which actions will be executed. Almost done! The last step is setting up the actual trigger for the PDF creation in monday.com. Click on Integrate in the top right corner and search for DocExport. We prepared 3 pre-made automations for a quick start. Your PDF can be generated by clicking a button, changing the status in your board, or reaching a set date. In our example, I want the ticket to be created when I change the status after receiving a new registration. Therefore, I choose the trigger when status changes for my automation. The logic is, when status changes to approved, create document by using my recipe called Save and Email Ticket. That's it, ready for a fast test drive. I go back to my board, or rather to my form, and fill it in. After submitting the form, I switch to my board and see the newly created item. If I now change the status from registered to approved, our DocExport recipe will be triggered in the background and the file will be generated. After a few seconds, the PDF ticket appears in the file column and an email has been sent to the address in the email column. How cool is that? But wait, that's not all. To make my life easier and improve the work process in our example, I want the PDF file to be created and sent to the attendee straight after the form has been submitted, without me changing the status manually. To achieve this, I can use a monday.com automation. Therefore, I click on Automate and then on Create Custom Automation. As I want an item to be created after a form submission, I can use the item creation trigger. When an item is created, which happens once an attendee has submitted a sign-up form, then change status to approved. This automation will now trigger our DocExport automation and everything runs on autopilot. Let's give it a try. I return to the form and fill it in once again. After clicking Submit, I go back to my board and can see that the status has been changed to Approved automatically, and the PDF file will appear in the File column a few seconds later. Now it's your turn. You can replicate the steps in your own boards to set up a similar workflow for lots of different use case scenarios. Think about contracts, proposals, audit reports, shipping notes, project reports with charts, and many, many more. We're also happy to help. Just visit our website on docexport.com or drop us a message via support@docexport.com.